Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Movie Melee. We got another exciting match for you this evening. I believe this is for the singles title picture. Yeah, we'll go with that. We got a match between Kirk Kowalkowski and Antonio Chavez, two players that have been around for a long time. I don't think that they've ever played actually one-on-one in singles, which is very surprising to me. You'd think that their paths would have crossed at one point. Maybe they haven't. I don't know because, I'm bad at my job. But anyways, should be a great match. I think these two match up very well together, and I think it'll be a barn burner. I think they're pretty evenly matched. So we'll bring in the players now in for pre-match interviews. I'm already all over the place. Starting with our lower-ranked competitor for this evening, Kirk Kowalkowski, and his manager, Tim Brzakala. Very interesting dynamic here. How are you feeling, Kirk, going into this match against Antonio?
I'm feeling good. I got Tim here. We're going to have some fun. It's all about having fun. I've been struggling the past few seasons, and I think part of that is because I've been stressing myself out too much, taking it too serious. So I'm going to have some fun, but also I want to win very much. Antonio and I have played before. He was my first non-tournament loss in Warzone back then. 5 years ago, I still, I don't think about it every day, and I don't desperately want revenge. So it'll be a good match.
That adds up. Yeah, Kirk is one of the most underrated, unluckiest players in Melee, because he has an amazing wins and a huge breadth of knowledge, but has just gotten very unlucky against really good opponents like Antonio. But I think that Kirk has what it takes to beat Antonio. It's 5 years later. Kirk has been preparing for this moment his entire life. And maybe at the cost of his relationships with his family, but he's ready to go. We're ready to rock, and like he said, we're ready to have fun and just trying out something different. It's gonna be fun. We're ready.
And I really appreciate Antonio bringing Jordan and not Kaiser, because we're not going to deal with 10 jackass challenges, and we'll get out here 45 minutes earlier than would have otherwise. So whatever happens, thank you for that, Antonio.
Well, I might. Well, no, let's do it.
If we do it, it's okay.
All right. Well, best of luck to you, Kirk. We will now put your manager backstage for now, and we will bring in your opponent for this evening. That's Tim's still here. I don't know why. Hi, Tim. You're not playing. We'll bring back Kirk. Anyways, Antonio and his manager, Jordan Owens. Antonio, how are you feeling about facing Kirk today? Apparently, you guys have played each other before.
Yeah, it's been a while. I was going to say we have played each other at least once, whether teams or singles, but it's been a while. I always respect Kirk. I always feel like his knowledge is just very, like I said, someone said, very broad. And, it's always been intimidating to me at least. But I've just been also taking the same approach, just trying to have fun. And I've been looking forward to this. I'm just thinking, especially because of the strengths that I chose for tonight. But I'm just also happy that that JPO decided to help manage me today, so I'm really happy about that.
Remind me, Antonio, who won that last time you faced each other?
Yeah, apparently me. I actually don't remember. I didn't remember that.
Oh, well, then, like most sequels, like any good sequel, let's do the same thing over again, baby. Same script, different T-shirt. You know what I mean? Just like all sequels, it's gonna be the same thing over again. Kirk, you're here to have fun. Antonio, no fun. Fun ends now. We're coming for you, Kirk. All right? I'm gonna challenge everything. I'm challenging the fact that you don't think I'm gonna challenge between the judges. So it's happening, man. It's going down.
All right. Well, good luck to you as well, Antonio. We'll now put your manager backstage, and we'll get into round number one, which will work like this. This is a standard whiteboard round. 8 questions, 8 different categories of movie trivia that which they will answer individually on their whiteboards in 15 seconds. If they get all 8 questions right, they will be asked a bonus question, also worth 1 point. And each player has 3 repeats and 1 challenge to use for the entirety of the match. Any questions before we get started?
All good.
Yes, sir.
All right. Then your first question will come in the category of recent releases. Gary Oldman plays what historical figure in Oppenheimer? And forgive my loud typing. I need to put the names on my scoreboard here. I usually mute myself when I do this, but last time I muted myself, my computer shut down and I got stuck in mute and no one could hear what I was saying. It was a real rough time and I couldn't even put people backstage. It had to all be edited out. It was like 20 full minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll start with Antonio.
I forgot he was in there. President Truman?
And Kirk?
Harry Truman.
Yeah, I'll accept both answers. Yeah, Harry S. Truman. Anyways, your next question will come in the category of musicals. In My Fair Lady, what song does Eliza sing that convinces Higgins that she has finally nailed the upper class accent? Yes, I do use a digital scoreboard. I use Excel because it does all the math for me because I have it all set up that way. It's so much easier. I don't know how I would have survived the fandom matches that I had to host if I didn't have it. It's so much better when you don't have to do the math. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll start with Kirk.
The Rain in Spain.
And Antonio?
For a random song, Old Lang Syne.
The Rain in Spain is correct. So that Kirk takes the 2-1 lead as we get in your next question in the category of the 2000s. Enemy at the Gates primarily takes place in what country? Add this to the ones that I have not seen. This is not very high priority on my list, though, I must say. Still apparently have to see Casablanca. Apparently that's somewhat worth watching. Anyways,
Jeez, come on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Antonio.
Russia?
And Kirk.
I think one of them's Russian. I said Russia too.
Russia is correct. So Kirk holds on to that 3-2 lead as we get into your next question in the category of Oscars. What film won Best Foreign Language Film for films released in 2000? Question had the word film in it a lot. I don't like asking questions where like the same word is repeated like three times. I think it's fair to ask. It's just it never looks good to me. But thank you for the wonderful question, Ryder. I don't mean to slander you. Good job. I don't know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Kirk.
I said Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
And Antonio?
That makes sense. Evita.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is correct. So that Kirk extends the lead 4-2. So we now get into your next question. In the category of animated, who directed All Dogs Go to Heaven? Ooh, in the chat, we have from Payson Johnson. Shout out to the creature feature that featured a creature teacher. Yeah, I don't know what that means. But yeah. I know it's fandom. Anyways, 5, 4, 3. We have a viewer? 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Antonio first.
Frank Oz.
And Kirk?
Don Bluth.
Don Bluth is correct. So that scores now 5-2 as we get in your next question in the category of crime. What specific medical condition does Baby have in Baby Driver? And it does say specific. We will accept like a description of it, though. Because, we're that nice. We want you guys to succeed,
You guys okay with spelling?
5, 4. Don't worry about it. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Kirk, I think, first.
I said hearing loss.
And Antonio.
I said tinnitus. I know I probably didn't spell it right.
Tinnitus is correct. We also would have accepted ringing in the ear, but because we said specifically, we unfortunately cannot accept hearing loss. So
That's fair.
Yeah. So no more perfect rounds. 5-3 as we get into your next question in the category of the 2010s. In Dunkirk, who plays Commander Bolton, the man overseeing the evacuation? Whoops, I meant to change this question because, yeah. Anyways. Oh, and that's Nick who is the viewer. Okay. I thought I screwed up and actually accidentally this is live on YouTube, so that's nice. Apparently Payson is driving. Cool. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will go to Antonio first.
Kenneth Branagh.
And Kirk?
Michael Caine's in a lot of those movies.
He is uncredited in the movie, but Kenneth Branagh is correct. So Antonio closes the lead there, but 5-4. Jesus. Your final question in round number 1 will come in the category of comedy. In Anchorman, what is the channel number that Ron Burgundy is Anchorman for? Love this film. This is one that my dad told me I had to watch because he was like, "This is the funniest movie ever made," and I watched it. And as a 10-year-old boy, I think I was like, "This is the funniest movie ever made."
You were right.
It's pretty good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Kirk
I believe it's Channel 9 news team.
and Antonio.
It's Channel 4.
Channel 4 is correct.
Oh, dang it.
So with that coming out of round number 1, I have the score tied 5-5 as we get into round number 2, which will work like this. It is the wheel round. Each player will get the chance to spin the wheel, which will decide what categories they will be answering questions in today. 5 questions each with 2 points apiece unless they check down a multiple choice, in which case it'll be worth 1 point. Stealing is available in this round. The categories they can land on today are 1950s Marilyn Monroe, which is Antonio's strength. Martin Scorsese directed, which is Kirk's strength, as well as the general categories of comic book movies, 1970s, biopics, recent releases, Oscars, family, and that is it. Anyways, so since we are tied and Antonio, you're the higher ranked competitor, would you like to spin first or defer to Kirk?
What do you think, DPO?
Hey, I believe in you. First of all, congratulations on believing in yourself and getting back that lead. I mean, or at least tying it up. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. So continue with your gut, man. Trust in your gut. I want to see more faith in yourself. Like, I believe in you.
Let me go. I'll defer. I'll let Kirk speak first.
All right. Well, then we'll take out Jordan and bring in Tim, and this will be your first spin. Kirk? You'll land on the category of biopics. Would you like to keep that or spin again?
I mean, based on what we talked about, I think we should probably spin again.
Okay.
I don't think you should worry about this category.
No, not at all.
But we don't have a lead. We're not under.
No.
This was kind of one of the mids.
Yeah.
So I think unless you feel like you could go 7, 8 for 10, which I think you could, but there are obviously things you're going to be way better at.
Yeah, let's respin.
I agree. I think we should respin. Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Then this will be the category that you'll be stuck with. And 1950s Marilyn Monroe.
Well, there it is.
Let's see how this goes.
All right. So then your first question in 1950s Marilyn Monroe. In which Monroe film will you find the fictional country of Carpathia?
Oh, what's the name of that? Crap, multiple choice.
Your options are A, How to Marry a Millionaire, B, O. Henry's Full House, C, Love Nest, or D, The Prince and the Showgirl.
The Prince and the Showgirl.
That is correct for 1 point. Your next question. Who plays the owner of a diamond mine, Sir Francis Piggy Beekman, in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, Charles Coburn, B, Joseph Cotton, C, Richard Windmark, or D, Don Murray.
I'm going to say A.
That is correct for 1 point. And your third question. In The 7-Year Itch, right before Monroe's character stands over the gate that pushes up her skirt, her and Richard are leaving what kind of location?
Multiple choice.
All right. Your options are A, a restaurant, B, a movie theater, C, a bookstore, or D, a concert hall.
Movie theater?
That is correct for 1 point. Now your penultimate question in this category. Who directed Clash by Night?
Fritz Lang.
Correct for 2 points. And now your final question in this category. In We're Not Married, Annabelle wins a beauty contest award representing which U.S. state?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, Alabama, B, Georgia, C, Mississippi, or D, Louisiana.
Say Mississippi.
That is correct for 1 point and the clean sweep of the category. So after Kirk's spin, I now have him up 11-5 as we bring back the wheel for what will be Antonio's first spin.
Didn't go the way I had expected.
Another category of recent releases. Would you like to keep that or spin again?
I think you would do good, but I know we were thinking about maybe possibly spinning. So you think you want to spin it? What you thinking? Trust your gut again.
Yeah, let me spin again.
There's other things we do. So
All
a
right.
little bit better on the spot.
Then this will be the category that you'll be stuck with.
Great.
And on opponent's choice.
Hey.
So, Kirk, which category would you like to give to Antonio?
All right, first off, good shit, man.
Thank you. I think we go Oscars.
Yeah, the only thing that because he missed the Oscars question in round one. The only thing is, I mean, did he study Scorsese? You can get steals in Scorsese.
I feel like I can kind of pick the meat off the bone on Oscars,
Especially if he's like hits multiple and
Yeah.
misses. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, and you got 6 points there, right? What the score's 11, right?
11-5. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Let's go Oscars. I like that.
Okay.
All right. Then your first question, Antonio, in the category of Oscars. What was the only film released in the 1980s to win both Best Lead Actor and Best Lead Actress?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, On Golden Pond, B, Tender Mercies, C, Children of a Lesser God, or D, Driving Miss Daisy.
A.
A is correct for 1 point. Your second question. Who is the only Best Director winner from the 1960s to win the award without their film also winning Best Picture?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, Carol Reed, B, George Roy Hill, C, Fred Zinnemann, or D, Mike Nichols.
C.
C is unfortunately incorrect. Kirk for the 1 point steal. Is it A, Carol Reed, B, George Roy Hill, C, Fred Zinnemann, or D, Mike Nichols?
Mike Nichols.
That is correct for the 1 point steal. So your third question, Antonio. How many Oscar nominations did Field of Dreams receive?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, or D, 4.
Three.
3 is correct for 1 point. And your penultimate question in this category. What is the most recent Best Visual Effects winner to also receive a Best Picture nomination?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, Dune, B, Top Gun Maverick, C, All Quiet on the Western Front, or D, Avatar, The Way of Water, sorry.
Can I get a repeat of the question?
Short, full repeat. All right. That was your first one. Your question again. What is the most recent Best Visual Effects winner to also receive a Best Picture nomination? And your options are A. Dune, B. Top Gun Maverick, C. All Quiet on the Western Front, or D. Avatar: The Way of Water.
All Quiet on the Western Front.
It's unfortunately incorrect. Kirk for the 1-point steal. Is it A. Dune, B. Top Gun Maverick, C. All Quiet on the Western Front, or D. Avatar: The Way of Water?
Was Avatar nominated for Best Picture or not? I think it was. Did it win? I'm gonna say Dune.
That is also correct. We were looking for Avatar: The Way of Water.
Okay.
So then your final question in this category, Antonio. What won Best Adapted Screenplay for films released in 1973?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A. Paper Moon, B. Serpico, C. Murder on the Orient Express, or D. The Exorcist.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Fortunately incorrect. Kirk for the 1-point steal. Is it A. Paper Moon, B. Serpico, C. Murder on the Orient Express, or D. The Exorcist?
Paper Moon.
That is also incorrect. We're looking for The Exorcist. So then coming out of round number 2, I now have the score Kirk in the lead 12-7. So we will now get into round number 3, which will work like this. It is the pick your poison round. So how it will work is we will be going back and forth drafting categories, starting with the player in the lead. Once a category is drafted, it cannot be drafted by your opponent. Once all categories are drafted, the player behind will answer questions until they take the lead. The players will choose which category they would like to take for their 1, 2, 3, and 4-point question in that order, and we will go until there is a mathematical winner. The categories that they can choose from today are Fandom, 1970s, sci-fi fantasy, crime, action adventure, classics, sports, and the 1980s. We'll let them pick their categories now, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. The players have selected their categories. We will start with Antonio since he is down by 5 points. So what category would you like for your 1-pointer, Antonio?
Let me take classics.
All right. Your question in the category of classics. Which 1946 film is about 3 soldiers returning from World War II to their complicated lives back in America? Five, 4, 3.
Grapes of Wrath.
It's unfortunately incorrect. We were looking for the best years of our lives. So we'll stick with you. What category now would you like for your 2-pointer?
Let's go 80s.
All right. Your question in the category of 80s. What specific kind of business does Sal own in Do the Right Thing?
A pizzeria.
That is correct for 2 points. Since you are still behind by 3 points, what category would you like for your 3-pointer?
Action adventure.
All right. Your question in action/adventure. What Egyptian god does the Scorpion King offer his soul to in the beginning of The Mummy Returns?
Anubis.
That is correct for 3 points. End of the tie game. So now we will go over to Kirk. What category would you like for your 1-pointer?
I'll go Fandom for 1.
All right. So your question in the category of Fandom. Who plays Daniels, the widow of the ship's captain in Alien Covenant?
Wow. Alien Covenant. I don't even know if this is a right alien
5,
movie.
4.
Charlize Theron?
It's unfortunately incorrect. We were looking for Catherine Waterston.
Sure.
So since we are still tied and you have more questions remaining, we will stick with Kirk. What category would you like for your 2-pointer?
We'll go sports.
All right. So your 2-point question in the category of sports. Who plays coach Tony D'Amato in Any Given Sunday?
Al Pacino.
That is correct for 2 points, and I apologize.
Don't apologize to me.
Yeah, no. I'm apologizing to the rest of the world. Anyways, Antonio, so you have your 4-pointer remaining in the category of sci-fi/fantasy. If you hit this, it'll send it back over to Kirk. If Antonio misses, Kirk will be the winner. So your question in sci-fi/fantasy. What 80s fantasy movie has the main character attending a wrestling match at Madison Square Garden featuring a 6-man tag match? Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat.
That is your second repeat. Your question again. What 80s fantasy movie has the main character attending a wrestling match at Madison Square Garden featuring a 6-man tag match?
Jacob's gonna kill me because he loves wrestling.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Last one.
Okay, that is your final repeat. Your question again. What 80s fantasy movie has the main character attending a wrestling match at Madison Square Garden featuring a 6-man tag match? Five, 4, 3, 2.
The last Starfighter. I don't know.
And your winner, Kirk Kowalkowski. The answer we were looking for is Highlander.
Oh, jeez. I still haven't seen that movie.
So now get into post-match interviews, starting with our unfortunate second-place finisher this
A
evening,
wrestling
Antonio.
question. Of all the things to destroy us, I could have studied for this.
Yeah, I think you played a really good game overall, Antonio. But yeah, I think it just some rough luck, I think, in round 2 with the spin there. And Kirk did really, really, really well in Marilyn Monroe, which was a category that I think could have been very difficult for him. But it seems like he was prepared. He came in and got the questions right. So I think it was just some rough luck for you there. But overall, how do you feel about your performance?
I mean, well, it sucks to get opponent's choice. I was just happy to tie it back up because that was like a tough round 1 for me. But yeah, and I was hoping to at least pick up a few steals. But yeah, Kirk came to play. And I was like, shit. Because I really enjoy. I mean, I did Marilyn Monroe because my fiance loves her. So, and I actually became a fan of hers as well. So I was hoping to get some practice in there. But hey, Kirk did what he did, and then yeah, these damn classics, and then yeah, I'm disappointed that I had to come down to a wrestling question. That's up there. And it's a movie
The
that
Fabulous Freebirds, Michael Hayes, Jimmy Jam Garvin, and Terry Gordy in the opening of Highlander. Christopher Lambert.
that's a movie I still need to see, and I'm like actually ashamed that I still haven't seen it. But this might make me go ahead and watch it. But no,
I asked it next that. And what kind of event is the Highlander?
That's what I can remember the future. But yeah, no, Kirk,
Antonio, you did really good, man. You were behind. You tied it right back up in round 1. Round 2, give props to Kirk. But then you also had opponent's choice, which is always kind of a little bit of a death nail there. And then in round 3, hey, you're still able to keep it to where he had to come back and answer some questions. So I'm proud of you, my boy. That was the second of 3. We're looking for the rubber match.
oh yeah, I look forward to that.
Well, I was going to ask you then who you'd like next time, but I think that's a pretty good call out there. Kirk Kowalkowski for the trilogy. Let's see it.
Let's do
Anyways,
that.
great game today, Antonio. We'll put you backstage for now, and we'll talk to first place finisher for this evening, Kirk Kowalkowski, along with his manager, Tim Brzakala. Kirk, very solid match from you overall. I mean, like, yeah, that was I think could have been very much, I think, the end of you and with that wheel spin with the Marilyn Monroe, which I thought maybe you were going to have some trouble there. I wasn't sure how locked in you still are in terms of studying, but you showed, I don't know if those were all guesses, but either way, you maneuvered it really well to get yourself a nice lead going into round number 3. And yeah, overall, just a really solid performance. So how do you feel overall?
First thing before anything, I got to correct JPO. Jimmy Jam Garvin was not one of the original Fabulous Freebirds. It was Buddy Jack Roberts, Bam Bam Gordy, and Michael P.S. Hayes. Come on, JPO, you're the wrestling guy. You need to know this stuff.
Yes.
But no, I feel great about it. Yeah, Antonio's a tough opponent. It's hard. Melee is tough when you get down around like this, like 500 hell, because everybody's good. Like, there's no like bad players. You can kind of just come down and pick off to improve your record. Antonio's a really good player. I respect him. He played great. I knew that wheel was a minefield for me. I think it probably was for him too. And I knew if one of us got Oscars, that was probably going to be game. But no, yeah, I prepped for. I tried to balance, like I said at the beginning. I'm trying not to take this so seriously, but I'm trying to balance, preparation and being ready with not, overwhelming myself with anxiety. And based on how it went, I think I did a pretty good job of that. But yeah, I feel great. Like I said, I'm over 500 for the first time in a long time. And yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, you played great, Kirk. I think 5 points in round 1 is excellent. And even the ones that you missed, you were super close on, or were very like guess a number type of things. Like you were very, very close. So I think you were fantastic in round 1. In round 2, like, yeah, like Kirk said, we're having fun, but also like we're not coming in completely blind. Like, we're still putting in some work, and Kirk did the work, and it paid off. And we knew that yes, Antonio spun opponent's choice. That sucks. But we basically did too. Like, I feel like that's what they would have given us on opponent's choice. So I feel like on the whole, this was a pretty even match as far as the spins go, as luck wise. And I think like we just picked the right categories. We had the right strategy going into round number 3. And I thought it was great. Antonio, like Kirk said, and like Dylan, you said, played fantastic. And he is a great player. I look forward to seeing Kirk play him again in 5 years again. So.
All right. So we can tell you who the potential next opponents will be in your next match and moving along in this singles title picture. So you'll be playing one of these 3 people, depending on who comes out of this little mini bracket, whatever. Anyways, the 3 people: Scott Harvey,
easy,
Raiko Kerminets,
easier,
or Dean Manis. So of those 3 people, who would you like to face?
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even know this was a title picture, and I'm kind of glad I didn't, because that made it less hectic. But I'll say Scott, because I just want to see Scott win his match in advance. And I don't think I've ever actually played Scott in singles. So yeah, I'm rooting for Scott.
Yeah, Scott is the hardest of those 3 opponents, but the one that would be the most fun, because we love Scott. We're friends with Scott. We're friends with all these people. But I agree that we want to see Scott move on. And Scott's a good dude. And if one of us has to move on, I wish it would be Kirk, but Scott would be cool. But Raiko and Dean, I hope they lose. So.
All right. Well, I like it. I like the trash talk. Anyways, thank you guys for coming out. We'll put you backstage for now. And I will close this thing out as clumsily as I always do. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to the writers, players, showrunners, everyone who helped to make what this show is what it is. Anyways, outro. I'm done. Bye.
Goodbye. Later.
After you, Junior. You'll always have Paris.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.
Think it'll work?
It would take a